holding the administration's feet to the fire. The information we have in public that we've seen already is that there was collusion between the Trump campaign and...
That is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's
it's absolutely
no
out there. There absolutely is. And if there wasn't, then why would Papadopoulos and Flynn keep lying about their contacts with the Russians? Right? Then why would everyone keep lying about it if it wasn't out there?
What we found out from these investigations is there's absolutely no evidence of collusion, none whatsoever. We found out that there's a couple of people who've gotten in trouble for what they said to investigators about an investigation. We found out absolutely no evidence of collusion.
And Emily, if you want to get to the bottom of it, they can't be hardened by the story in the New York Post today that says one of the people that was asked to testify in front of this grand jury, they described the jury as the people that would appear at a Bernie Sanders rally. So it's not even emblematic of something that might be perhaps demographically pursuing justice. But lastly, I want to end with this. Emily, right now, the Democrats are in a very good spot, momentum and history.
Good morning, Brian.
Do you think they should play ball when it comes to immigration?
My button is bigger than yours, Rocket Man.
Play ball when it comes to any type
What's
of
up?
major issue leading up to this election year.
I think the Democrats need to hold a hard line. And
Yeah, they like to get up and watch the news with me.
Well, I think that there should be some deals made if that's what they get to, but they shouldn't compromise so much to lose their own principles. If an infrastructure deal looks anything like give away to private business and to Wall Street, just like the tax bill does, then Democrats should not come to the table on it. That's not real infrastructure building.
Oh, this isn't screen frame trail.
Trying to protect dreamers at the expense of all other immigrants to the country, slowing down the current immigration process. Democrats should not deal on that. It's not a real deal.
I know it's not about a deal, but so Josh, you expect something to get done real quick?
What's up, Mr. Thomas?
Well, the Democrats are going to have to come off the dime here. If they wanted something to get done with DACA, they're going to have to deal with border security, whether it's chain migration issues or whether it's this ridiculous visa program that we've got. They're going to have to deal with it. So far, they've refused to do so, and a little bit of bipartisanship would do them some good right now.
See, that's the problem with the Democrats. They don't deal with brass tacks. When it comes down to the actual process of doing, nah, they ain't with that. They like the show. They want the protests, the parties, but to take the actual steps. But to take the actual steps to get these things done, they want you to omit the Constitution, forget the laws, forget the rights, forget the courts, to get these things done that they claim that they fight for. Like, we fight for the rights to go to court and do that. So they...
What is Gangster's Paradise Lost?
Yes. Our judges have reevaluated one of your responses a few moments ago. Did we take 3,200 away from you?
Oh, that was ridiculous. Because he said gangster instead of gangsta. Like who cares? Like, well, seriously? It's Gangsta's Paradise, not Gangsters. Like, what's the difference? Yeah, so he took 3,200 and ended up costing him the game.
And we covered July 1st, 2015. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers.
I had so many reasons for not losing weight, for putting it off. Sound familiar? It's time to take control.
Go to the other one, the other station. It was on
CNN political commentator Jason Miller and Anna Navarro. Happy New Year to you both. It is always beautiful to see you, even with a question as silly as this. Jason Miller, is there a deep state? Is there a conspiracy that includes the Justice Department against the President of the United States, Donald Trump?
Well, good morning, Chris. I think you're combining a couple of different things here and putting in something that the President said along with something that the President did not say. When the President talks about the deep state, he's talking about this permanent bureaucratic class of unelected officials who I think fundamentally believe that they know more than our elected officials and know more than the President about the direction of the country. We saw it come all the way back to the campaign trail last year, and now we see it as we move into this year. And Chris, you see it all the time with these leaks that are constantly coming out. And if you go to any top-shelf journalist in town here who will tell you where these leaks are coming from, they will tell you it's from these career officials at the Justice Department.
Those leaks always come. So that would not make President Trump unique. And the question is still different than what you're responding to right now, Jason. He says
the Justice Department is part of a deep state conspiracy against me. Let's put to the side, he obviously isn't defining deep state the way it traditionally is, and it's an amorphous concept. I don't even know that it has great purchase in today's society. Let's put it to the side. He's saying the Justice Department is part of this. Do you think it is right for the President of the United States to indict the Justice Department as being against him?
Chris, you keep saying conspiracy as though this was some sort of episode of
That's what he said.
But you're trying to make it sound like this is some sort of episode of the X-Files or something
Because
like
that's
that.
what he said.
Very, very clearly, what the president is referring to is, again, these bureaucrats who think they know better than the president of the United States. I think he's absolutely in his right to call out leakers. I think he's absolutely to call out the fact that our Justice Department turns a blind eye, whether it be in an Operation Cassandra or something that we saw in the previous administration, or allowing some of these crimes to go by, as we see right now with different things with the previous administration, with the way that, again, the leaks and the different things, and we can get all into that later, but I think the president's absolutely his right to go and call it out.
Nobody's saying it's not within his right. Anna, let's go to you. Nobody is arguing whether or not the President of the United States has the right to say this. Of course he does. It's whether or not it is right to say it. Your take.
Of course it's not right. Look, first of all, he is indicting the Department of Justice. There are so many good men and women who have spent their entire lives dedicated to working for the United States.
He doesn't mean everybody.
Well, it sounds like he means everybody. And you can just imagine what it does for the morale of the DOJ to hear the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, the guy who represents us all, saying those things about the Justice Department that works for him. Look, what he's trying to do here is obvious. What he is in a deep state of paranoia. He is in a deep state of distract and, distort. Because what he's doing is laying the groundwork so whenever Mueller finishes an investigation, it's got no credibility. He's trying to drum up all this noise, all this outside noise, and regardless of all of this, Mueller is going to continue doing his job. He's going to continue focusing on this, has to drown out all this cacophony around him and just focus on the task at hand. Trump is going to do what Trump does. He's going to distract. He's going to try to inflame his base, make it so that he subtracts credibility from the investigation, because I think he's afraid of what may come out.
Do you believe that the Justice Department is compromised, Jason? It can't be trusted by the American people?
No, and I think, Chris, the way that you're setting up that question, I think is a bit of a false dichotomy there. I agree with Anna that the vast majority, the overwhelming majority, probably 99% of everyone at the Justice Department and the FBI and all the people in law enforcement check their political inclinations at the door when they show up to work every day, and they show up and they do their job. And I think much in the same way that many reporters do their absolute best to go and check their biases at the door and say we want to cover just the facts. I think the same thing with most of the people in our law enforcement. However, as we've seen, there are a lot of things that have come to light recently, whether it be Justice Department officials going to Secretary Clinton's election night party or some of the other shenanigans that we saw. And I think that we have to remove anyone who's involved in this blatant political activity.
You have a lifelong GOP member who served both types of administration.
Did you vote, sir?
For a job with President Trump.
I'm asking this guy. He said, America deserves what we got right now.
I mean, we haven't seen over
Putting this guy in the wild. Did you vote?
Former Director Mueller found out that there were people who were texting that were in his unit that were saying some pretty negative things about President Trump. He removed them, and that was good.
Supporters of President Trump, including the congressman, says he's,
I say that to say this. If you did not vote, that means that you did not elect them into the White House.
You think that's right?
Oh, I don't think that's
So
right. I do think that Director
basically,
Mueller,
you have no say. You decided not to have a say.
Go further and make sure that anyone who's been
So how can you complain
or I think even people who
when
say
you didn't
maxed
vote?
out, to campaigns in previous cycles, I think they probably should
Voted for Hillary Clinton.
Just in the same way that Chris,
I feel
if you
sorry
were
for you,
out
Sports
to
Bug
either
89.
Secretary Clinton or to President
Why on
Trump,
earth would
and
you vote
goes
for her?
to the show, of course, every single time that one of the two came up, people would bring that up to
Let me
you.
ask you something. If you found out that I gave money to Trump, would you have a problem with it?
That's right, Mr. Morrow.
I mean, of course, I would like it because he was my guy.
That's
but
my
Anna-
point. That's my point about all this.
But Anna
About
might
leaks,
not
it's
like
a
it.
problem, but it's
They
about
didn't.
leaks. You guys love them when they're in your favor. You hate them when they
But Chris,
are. Have the
Chris,
same
that's not what I
conversation
said.
every administration.
Chris, that's not what I
Jason,
said. What I
Trump
said
gave money
is
to
half the
Nancy
people-
Pelosi and
half the
Trump
people
and
want money, yeah, but half won't. But you're missing my entire point. Is the fact that we shouldn't have the politics be involved in this, and people who are involved in the investigatory process,
True.
they shouldn't be people who have, say, maxed out campaigns or go into
True, but I don't know that you have a case to make. I get that you're dabbling it out there that some of these guys have political activity. There's political activity all over the place. You remember what the Clinton people were saying, Jason? When they were doing the investigation on the emails about how these people hate her, they're out to get her, and they had their own little examples of how this was being taken so much more seriously than it deserved. I didn't see you or anybody standing up then and saying, you know what, she's right. This is wrong. This is too political. We shouldn't be seeing this.
Yeah, well, Chris,
to your advantage.
No, Chris, there's a higher threshold, whether it be someone who's in an investigation unit, someone who's in law enforcement, just in the same way that folks in the media are scrutinized and looked at. There's a reason why journalists don't go and max out and give big contributions to candidates.
Of course, they're not issued investigators. Nobody's questioning that.
Thank you. So we're great.
No, but there's been a suggestion. No, I'm with you. Jason, I'm not here to disagree with you. I'm just here to keep it straight. Anna, the suggestion is this. When this investigation is done, if anything comes out that is negative about the President of the United States or anyone close to him,
it's because it's a political
must be dismissed as political, and even Mueller himself is tainted. What is the Republican Party to do then?
Look, I think the Republican Party really has to watch over Mueller. They have to watch about over the integrity of this investigation. This country is not going to stand for us not accepting what Mueller does. This country is certainly not going to stand for Donald Trump getting rid of Mueller one way or another. I think they're going to let him do all of this noise. They're going to let him continue with this. But the Republican leadership has got to send Donald Trump a very clear message. Do not mess with Mueller. Keep him where he is, because they're going to have a huge mess on their hands, and they're going to have to pay hell for it in 2018 should that happen. And it's also because at this point it should be country over party. And we're talking about the integrity of our democracy, the integrity of our elections. That is more than your loyalty to a president or to a party. Our loyalty to this country should count more.
No one said your vote don't count. I'm just saying it's not going to. It's not going. It's not your protection. If you're not involved, you're not. See, the thing is, you just want to go out and vote and just go do your thing. You're not involved. If you're not working, if you're not doing anything, your Social Security is basically just sitting there. So the thing is you're not even contributing. You're not even considered a person if you're not doing anything with your Social Security. Your Social Security number has nothing on it whatsoever. So if that's the case, that's a whole different process. Anybody can vote. So if they talking about your vote don't count because you're not in part of society, you're not a part of the working class, you're not even contributing to nothing. If all you're doing is sitting on your mom's couch and breaking her furniture, that don't count for nothing. So that's what the statement means when they saying, people saying your vote don't count. That's exactly what that means. I'm not saying you particularly. The statement is not about you. The statement is about the mass majority of those people they say that it does not count. Their vote does not count. That's what the statement is from. People, they took that and spun it into making it sound like people saying all the African American people's vote don't count, or all their votes don't count. People took that statement out of context. And they've been running with it ever since. And the statement was made, and that's the reason why it was made. Because they're talking about people who don't even contribute to anything in life. Those people, their votes don't even count.
Instead of gangsta, right? Gangsta's paradise. I thought that was a question on Jeopardy. I know. Like, they're the smartest guys.
What were the Bowery Boys? Were they gangsters? Remember the Bowery Boys with Sash?
I think it was just a game.
It was just a gang of young men. So that would have been fun.
Meanwhile, Janice Dean is outside where it...
I don't have a dog in the fight.
This is the end.
Freezing? Oh yeah, good answer. And you guys?
We're from Port Angeles, Washington.
Okay, listen, I'm going to be doing some bull riding. Will you be my stunt double? Okay, listen, excellent. We are dealing with cold temperatures. We are dealing with a potential nor'easter heading up towards the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. We will be covering our Fox and Friends, so stay with us. Back inside. More bull riding to come.
A whole global freezing front.
Meanwhile, it's something the Democrats have called for since President Trump's election.
I will fight every day until he is impeached and impeached 45.
But our next guest, who voted for President Obama, says this narrative only helps Republicans.
Today's weather is brought to you by Alka-Seltzer Plus.
Well, it helps the Republicans because a lot of the Republicans are not with Trump. And some of the plans he wants to make is more business and not the business of the Republicans. So he's really standing on his own on a lot of the issues. Well, some of the party they're bipartial to what's going on. If you're not looking out completely for the Republican Party, then, there's a conflict of interest there for where they want to go and where they think you should be. Well, he didn't back that bill, so when you don't back the bill,
That makes Hatch the longest-serving Republican in the Senate. Meantime, Democrats Doug Jones and Tina Smith.
oh yeah, Mitt Romney's finna take Hatch's job over in Utah.
Mega Millions drawing. The jackpot is expected to rise to an estimated
$418 million.
by Friday night. If you cannot wait, tonight's Powerball jackpot is $440 million. If you can't wait for all those millions, just get one for tonight.
Yeah, and remember, take the lump payment. I mean, it's definitely
for sure.
the way to go.
Why isn't Phil getting on this? We need to wake him up.
Phil is the New Day family resident accountant when it comes to our lottery winnings.
So we're putting our money in good hands.
All right. So for more on the 5 things to know, go to CNN.com/New Day and you'll get the link.
Here he comes.
There he is. He's making his list. He's checking it twice.
Are you getting the money right now?
He is always nodding and it's never nice. There he is. Boom, like an eclipse.
Can't be that quick.
That's Phil. All right, meanwhile, wind-driven snow
Oh,
and
okay.
ice may soon stretch from Maine to Florida. CNN's Jay Most looks at the crazy consequence of the bitter cold.
It's like a nor'easter of his own.
Who needs a thermometer to answer the age-old question, how cold is it? Cold enough for the Calgary Zoo to temporarily bring its penguins indoors before letting them out again. Cold enough to freeze a shark. At least 3 of them were found washed up on Cape Cod, likely stranded due to cold shock, noted the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy. They had to be thawed to be autopsied. A true shark sickle. How cold is it? Not cold enough at 6 below to deter a guy dressed as a banana from water skiing on Mississippi, but definitely cold enough to generate internet memes. I'm not going outside until the temperature is above my age. Remember this trick from previous cold snaps? Turning boiling water instantly into snow is so last year. This is the year of
frozen bubbles.
Craig Bain created a perfect specimen at a temperature of -31 degrees Fahrenheit. In Saskatchewan, Canada, it has all the allure of a fragile homemade snow globe with over 4 million views.
It's crazy.
There's pretty much one basic recipe for making ice bubbles, and it doesn't involve using that store-bought bubble-blowing stuff.
Another Canadian who has helped whip up #Bubble Madness recommends warm water, corn syrup, dishwashing soap, and sugar.
And the corn syrup, what does it do?
It basically hardens, it gives them a little bit of structure, otherwise they just blow away.
And if you really want a snow globe effect, add a Christmas tree. So when the temperatures dip, just dip your straw and
start blowing.
Even penguins love bubbles. Gene, CNN, New York.
That's so cool.
Now, I see that this has tempted you, but are you willing to go out and be in the cold long enough?
No, but I am willing to send my children out. So I'm going to try this. Yes. I'm going to try this on the kids, with the kids. They'll love it.
All right, the bottom line is next.